Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the INVESTIGAMER, and I believe that we may have gotten off to a rough start in the last video. Perhaps I was a little hasty in choosing the game that I chose, and critiquing it the way that I critiqued it. So, today I've chosen a game that I believe we can all come to some common ground on, or at least, you'll probably be a lot more favorable about. One that you can't shy away from, one that you've all heard of. Oh yes, we've all heard of it. It's fucking everywhere, man, everywhere. As far as the eye can see. You know the game. Oh, you know the game, and you know we both love it. You know we both love it. Grand Theft Auto 5. Need I say more? Jesus Christ, I haven't seen hype this passionate since Skyrim's release 2 years ago. It's been all over Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You name a social media site that's still relevant, and chances are GTA 5 has trended on it like 12 times. You can't walk into a Walmart or a Subway or a movie theater without hearing about this fucking game. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the game to finally outsell Call of Duty. If you aren't familiar with Grand Theft Auto, let me give you the tour. Some might say that Grand Theft Auto is all about, well, Grand Theft Auto. Stealing cars in layman's terms. However, there is more to it than meets the eye. Robbing jewelry stores, flying planes into buildings, and above all, friendship.
New in town, I'm making friends, all right? A lot of friends. I mean, things could get really messy.
You can bet that in the future I'll do an analysis of the entire Grand Theft Auto franchise as a whole and how it's evolved over time, but right now I think it's safe to say that GTA 5 deserves its own episode. I mean, come on, it's just that big. It's that kind of monumental release that just shakes the foundations of the entire gaming culture at large, and will probably change the gaming industry as a whole for many years to come. So, I can't contain my excitement anymore. Let's just dive right in, shall we? What? Oh, right. The game has to install first. Forgot about that. What am I supposed to do? Just sit here and fucking jack off or twiddle my thumbs or... I pull out my phone and play solitaire or just... What am I supposed to do? I guess I'll explain how this video is going to go down. I'll explain to you how this investigation is going to play out. Basically, this game has received universal acclaim. That means, for those of you who don't know, every single review on Metacritic or other aggregate sites, at least from major critics, has been positive. I want to know, is this acclaim, and furthermore the hype surrounding this game, is it all justified? Is the game really that good? That's what I want to find out, and as soon as this is done installing, I can. How am I going to find this out? Well, let me explain. In order to determine whether Grand Theft Auto 5 is a successful GTA game, I'm going to examine 5 major aspects that made Grand Theft Auto successful in the past. Kinda like what I did in my Halo 4 video. Firstly, there's gameplay. Basically, how do the controls and mechanics behave? Secondly, the map, the terrain. Is this reimagined San Andreas an ideal location, and have they played to its advantage? Thirdly, the vehicles. You can't have Grand Theft Auto without some detailed and intense vehicle action. Fourthly, the characters. Are they relatable? Do they have depth? Are they enjoyable on-screen and during the action? Finally, the scores. The big mission, the bank robberies, hijackings, those major high-stakes elaborate jobs we were promised in the trailers leading up to the game. If GTA 5 manages to nail all of these aspects, then as far as I'm concerned, it's a successful Grand Theft Auto game, and therefore, deserves all the hype and acclaim that it's received. Essentially, you know, essentially. Oh, the install is done. Awesome. Time to jump right in. Gameplay. In my opinion, the Xbox controls for GTA have always been a little strange. X button to climb, but A button to sprint? Shouldn't those be intermingled somehow? It doesn't matter. You get used to it after an hour of playing, and by then the controls feel smooth, responsive, and intuitive. No serious complaints I can think of. Interfaces in the game are clean and organized well. One thing I happen to love is that a lot of character interaction and mission setup is done through the character's smartphone. It's pretty cool how each character has their own customized phone, and the choices actually make sense. Old guy has an iPhone because they're dumbed down for the tech impaired, young guy has a Galaxy because it's what anyone with a decent knowledge of modern tech would buy, and the insane guy has a Windows phone, probably Nokia, because, well, he's fucking insane. Ha! Anyways, the gameplay is more solid than a brick house if the bricks were made out of lead. Or maybe gold, since the mechanics are golden. Yeah, I'll work on my metaphors. Next item, the world. Oh sweet, I actually get to criticize the game a bit. Shit, I need to stop reading ahead on the script. Anyways, at first glance, it's pretty obvious that the new and improved San Andreas is impressive. Immaculate, epic, majestic, many, many good things. And I agree with you, brother. One of my favorite things about it is how frickin' big it is. You know how long it takes me on average to cross the entire map? 8 minutes, maybe longer. You may be saying, oh, well, that's not so bad, but think about it. This is a game of fast cars, sex, and drugs. If I'm crossing this place in 8 minutes and going 100 miles an hour, what does that say about it? Yeah, size. It's definitely got size. Of course, that alone doesn't make it a masterpiece. What makes it a masterpiece is the diversity, the representation of middle-class America, the representation of white trash America, the representation of me careening off of a cliffside into a crowd of orphans. Okay, did I seriously write this? So yes, I like the map. I love the map, but unfortunately I do have one nitpick to throw in. Please make an attempt not to lose your shit when I say this, because I do understand how silly it may sound, and very well may be. The world of GTA 5 could have been better. Try and stay with me here. This game released on the very edge of a new generation of video games. The major titles releasing today are doing some very impressive stuff visually, especially those coming up for the 8th gen systems. If GTA 5 had held out one more year, or even a few months, they could have upgraded textures, loading distance, rendering time. These things would make a big impact on a game of this scale. I know most people really aren't going to care, but I did notice texture loading issues several times throughout the game, and some areas of the map have repetitive or unappealing textures overall that essentially acted as filler to make the map larger. When it comes to stuff like this, I tend to let a lot slide, but this is a massive game with a massive budget. I suppose all I can hope for is that the eventual PC release will have more impressive graphical enhancements available. I also can't really blame them because releasing on the current gen was necessary to achieve the sales needed to make this sizable investment of a game profitable. Okay, graphical nitpicking aside, the world of GTA 5 still gets a seal of approval from me. Vehicles. It's pretty impressive that games designed solely for the purpose of racing cars can't even compete with GTA 5 in this area. I'm not fucking kidding. Every crash, every flip, every roll, every misplaced tire occurs flawlessly. The vehicle dynamics are absolutely astonishing. They behave exactly as I would expect them to in reality. You can shoot holes in the gas tank, knock the wheels out of alignment, crash through the windshield at high velocity, whatever gets you off. It really is awesome, yeah. Plus, the amount of drivable vehicles has increased from the disappointments of GTA 4. You've now got planes, jets, bikes, tanks. You also get to drive a train, but only during one mission that I know of. Vehicles are also customizable now, so hooray, another thing that should have been in GTA 4, but wasn't. To make a long story short, vehicles are killer. Characters. Personally, this is my favorite part. Yeah, sometimes I'll sit on my couch and just enjoy the pure excitement and stimulation of it all and just have some mindless fun and self-indulgence, but ultimately, what keeps me coming back is using video games as a storytelling medium. If they wrap this adventure in boring, unimportant characters and a boring plot that doesn't grip me and doesn't enthrall my mind, then I won't enjoy it, and I'll probably never play it again. How does Grand Theft Auto stack up in this regard? Let's check it out. Well, unlike previous GTA games, in GTA 5 you switch between 3 main characters that each have their own motivations, talents, and acquaintances. This approach is extremely risky, having to juggle so many converging stories and ambitions while maintaining a cohesive act-based structure. Having said that, it's pretty much executed flawlessly. I understood at all times what was going on, how each character felt, and the events transpiring around them, and I clearly could discern which character I was playing as. The 3 characters have very disparate and identifiable personalities. Michael is a retired high-stakes robber who used to run major heists with an entire crew of professionals. After one heist went south, he quit the game in favor of helping the Federal Intelligence Bureau. Take a guess what they're a parody of. He was relocated and given a new identity for the sake of his family, and now lives a life of upper-class leisure in Los Santos. Trevor, Michael's alleged best friend and fellow crew member, was forced to go on the run after the very same heist. Having thought Michael to be dead, he continued a life of crime and sulked in the desert north of Los Santos. Lastly, there's Franklin, a newcomer in the world of crime who runs with a local gang and continuously gets in trouble with his buddies. He can't seem to get ahead in the world until he runs into Michael while working as a repo man. Michael is sarcastic and practical, Trevor is insane and ill-tempered, Franklin is quick-witted and loyal. These characters and their struggles play out absolutely flawlessly. The drama throughout this game gives The Last of Us a run for its money. It is intense. The scores. Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. In the lead up to GTA 5, we were promised bigger, grander, badass missions of high-stakes professional robbery and extraction. Did we get them? For this point, I'm going to focus in on one score in particular, and then I'll broaden the scope and talk about the scores that follow in a general sense. I'm going to focus on the very first major score of the game, the jewelry store heist. This is the one you see in all the promotional material, where the crew get dressed up as exterminators with masks on. This heist is the first mission where Michael is back in action. He needs to raise $2.5 million to pay off a psychopathic Mexican, so he's back in the game. This job also serves as a plot point to solidify Michael's trust in Franklin and establish their continued friendship. So how does it play out? Well, you start by casing the jewelry store and making a few basic decisions about how to approach the job. Will you go in loud or quiet? Who's your gunman, your driver, your hacker? Each decision will affect how the job plays out, the dialogue of the characters, and how large the score is. Let me give you an example of how adversely different choices can affect the mission. When I played this mission and chose an amateur hacker, I had 30 seconds to grab as much jewelry as I could before the cops showed. This left me with about $3.25 million pull. The second time I attempted the mission, I went professional with the hacker and amateur with the gunman. The hacker got us 90 full seconds in the jewelry store. I pulled almost $5 mil out of that sucker. Of course, the gunman crashed his bike before we entered the tunnels, but... Oh, I didn't mention the tunnels? Yeah, when they said bigger, they meant it. This job ended with a multifaceted chase through the streets, underground tunnels, a canal. That's a canal, right? Whatever. The point is, this heist was every bit as incredible as I expected it to be, and the jobs only got larger from there. Hijacking a train, infiltrating the FIB, ripping off an armored car, using a submersible to steal a nuclear weapon underwater. I mean, the list goes on. The scores of Grand Theft Auto 5 are definitely a big thumbs up in my book, and in case you haven't been keeping track, this game is fucking incredible! I mean, my god. Usually I raise an eyebrow at universal acclaim, but this time I'm just absolutely delighted. GTA 5 deserves every 10 out of 10 it receives, every award nomination, every foaming at the mouth diehard fan that clings to it like it's a self-contained life support system. I mean, sure, it could have benefited from a little patience, but the story and character development alone is immensely impressive given the scale of the adventure. I just don't know what to say. I mean, what can I say? It's just that good, folks. It's just that good. It's a nearly perfect game in every way. I'm speechless. I have nothing else to add. I really don't. It was right on the money, all of this hype and all of this acclaim. It's right on the money. This game is so deserving of it, folks. If you honestly found something seriously wrong with it and you actually do not like this game, if you actually hate this game or think it's terrible or bad, I don't know what to tell you. There's something wrong with you, I think. I honestly believe there's something wrong with you if you believe this is a bad game. It's not. It can't be. I don't even know why I'm still making this. I need to get back to it. I need to get back to playing it. I need to. So, cheers. See you later. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have a new one sometime when I'm done playing this. I don't know when. So, yeah, if you need something else to do and you're not too busy playing it like me, then check out my Rayman review, I guess. That's right there. You can click it. Feel free. But I'm gonna get back to Grand Theft Auto now. See you later. I'm gonna steal a car, I'm gonna careen off of a cliff, I'm gonna get away from the cops, and that's what I'm gonna do.